What's up guys, it's Anthony Allen Edits here, the YouTube channel that's all about your video editing hints, tips and tricks, as well as your online bargains and discounts. Here in this video, I'm about to teach you how to edit like PewDiePie. Stay tuned. If you're still here, it means that you want to find out how to edit like PewDiePie. Now PewDiePie, obviously, if you don't know by now, is a comedy YouTuber. But one of PewDiePie's most successful satires is Pew News. So here in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do your very own Pew News opening. So the video editor I will be using to demonstrate how to create your Pew News opener is Final Cut Pro X. The first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to come out of Final Cut Pro X onto YouTube, and we're going to search for a copyright-free laser shot effect with sound. And here we have one, and we've found it. I will have a link to this in the description. You can find this video and you want to download the clip. Also, if you're going to do this and you're going to search for another clip that's similar, you want to make sure that it's free to use and there is going to be no copyright strikes against your video if you use this effect in your video. There are other ways of creating this effect from scratch, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to use a YouTube downloaded video effect to add to our Pew News opener. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to import your new downloaded clip from YouTube into your Final Cut Pro X project. Make sure that it is a chroma key effect. That is very important for this project as well. Again, I'll have a link to this video clip in the description of this video. So if you're following step by step, that is something that you can use as source material for this Pew News effect. Once we've done that and you've imported it into your timeline, you want to find a keyer effect. You can type it in to find it a lot quicker. You drag that on top of your laser shot effect, and that should get rid of the background if it's a chroma key video. Once that is done, we now want to transform and change the position of the laser shots. As you've just seen, it goes across the screen. That's not what we want. We want it to come out of the tip of our fingertips. So as I'm showing you here, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to mess around with the scale, which is the overall size of the effect on top of our bottom layer clip. And now I'm going to make it a lot smaller so you can see where the laser is shooting to and from. Then we're going to rotate it. So you just grab this little thing here and you can rotate the effect so that the laser shots are at least in the right direction. Again, notice how our laser clip doesn't begin until I have moved my fingers. I'm making sure that it matches up at least with the timing. The problem that you will then face is, where does the laser begin on your top layer? By scrolling backwards, we will be able to see where a laser starts, as you can see on screen, and now we can move the beginning of the laser origin to the tip of your finger, making it seem like the lasers are moving out of your fingertips. You can change the size and width of this as well if you do wish so. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, the whole point in PewDiePie's channel is for comedic relief, and a lot of the effects can be a bit sketchy for comic relief. So it's not, you know, some Hollywood production. It's more of a laugh and a joke, so it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. So don't start pulling out your hair if this effect isn't absolutely perfect when you're editing through it. It's sort of something that you want to play around with and have a lot of fun with. It shouldn't be a chore. So, but as it currently stands, the effect at the moment isn't up to par, which is why we're going to retime the effect so that the lasers come out a lot quicker than what you've just seen on screen. Now, we haven't played the clip through full speed just yet, just showing you how you can change the speed of the lasers that you've just resized and repositioned so that they come out of your fingertips. So it's about to start getting very, very fun, and this should be really fun for any professional video editor if you are a professional video editor yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut at the end of that first laser sequence, and you can see that I actually move. We don't want any lasers coming out while our fingers aren't there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an incision, and then we're going to find out roughly where we should begin the next lot of lasers. Now, if you've noticed, we've only started doing one side of lasers. Don't worry about that. We'll get into how we're going to be doubling up this effect. So let's actually drag the effect to where our fingers then point for the next lot of lasers. At this point, you're going to have to reposition where your laser origin is beginning. Exactly like we did before, we're just going to reposition so it comes from our fingertip. Okay, so moving on to my left hand, I'm now going to move the lasers very quickly over onto my left hand. So with our first top layer selected, we're going to copy and paste it, not to overwrite, so make sure you copy and paste it somewhere where our clips are already placed, and then we're going to drag it over the top of our first top layer, making it the new top layer, the new top dog right there. So you can't see the second lot of lasers which should be there at the moment. That's because it's completely overlapped and is completely the same time. As you can see now, I'm transforming and repositioning that second laser, which is going to be the same size and shape as the first one. So we don't want to change the size and shape. I'm going to completely undo that now. So I'm going to go up to edit, I'm going to press undo action. Right, now I'm going to move and rotate the laser without scaling at all and moving it over to the left, to the left hand. But as you can see, there is more to do for my left hand, as I made cuts to the effect and a retiming of the effect, which means that I need to copy and paste that section there so that I can do the same. This part of the effect is self-explanatory, so I'm going to speed it up. Once you've figured out how to do this effect, it does get very, very easy. So here I'm showing you in depth how to do this effect. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is combine the right and left lasers, and you just drag your mouse over the top of both of those, right click and control, and then you can create a compound clip. You want to name this whatever you feel the lasers should be named in this section, and we want to do the exact same thing for the next lot of lasers. Again, I'm going to speed this up as we're just duplicating the same effort there. Right, so with your lasers selected, we want to begin to change the colours of these lasers. We feel like, you know, that orange looks a bit boring, so we want to change that around. Pewdiepie does actually give the lasers multicolours, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to select a hue saturation, drag that over the top of that section of lasers, and now what we're going to do is we're going to see if it works. Just messing around with the hue saturation, it completely 100% works, which means that we've selected the right clip and the right effect. Once we've found that out, we want to keyframe. Keyframe is the word here. We're going to press the keyframe button here. We want to keyframe the color change so that it changes throughout the clip plane. As you can see here, what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure that the colors are popping by tampering and toggling the effect. When keyframing, you may want a guideline. The way you do this is you make sure your clip is selected, right click again like we did before with control, and then you just show video animations. This should show you where you are making changes in your clip, and you will see these little dots that will appear every time you make a change to that effect on that clip, which is the animation of the clip. In this case, we're talking about the hue saturation or the color change. So I'm going to zoom in and show you exactly where these dots should appear. This is what will appear on your clip when you are making a color change. So I'm going to show you here exactly how you make these changes so that the lasers change color throughout it playing. The idea here is to make sure you're making a change every few frames and make sure that the keyframe button is selected, and that will make the dots appear on your clip, therefore changing the color at that dot, which is throughout the clip playing. Once you've done that for all your layers, you then want to get rid of the video animations because it can be off-putting when you're trying to edit. Now we'll play it through and you will see that the lasers do change color throughout them playing, but we're not done just yet. We want to go one step further. We want to make sure that we can do what Pewdiepie can do. So we're going to do the same color change effect using keyframes and the hue saturation on the background of our clip. I've seen him do this recently and I'm about to show you how. What you do is you put the hue saturation on your clip, and what you want to do is you want to select this button here. I'll just show you. You want to select that button here and add color mask. Once you select a color mask, you want to select a color in your background. As you just seen, it selected the green in the background. Now my green screen isn't perfectly lit, as you can see, the light from the window is completely changing the type of green that we've got in the bottom corner of the screen, but we're just having a laugh and a joke here, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Well, then what you want to do is you want to soften the mask so that it fills as much of the background as it can, or maybe you don't want to do that, you want to toggle that to how you like it. I'm just toggling and playing around now. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that you are selecting the part of the clip that has the lasers and just doing that keyframe and hue saturation trick from before. Now, if you haven't got a news generated background already downloaded that you can use, you can either create one, or if you're using Final Cut Pro X, you can use this one right here. What you want to do then is just drag it into the timeline, pull it on the end. Pewdiepie has used this one as well in his videos, I'm pretty sure he's used this one. Now, I have a different effect on the final finished piece that I will be showing you in a minute, and that does look a lot better than the one that we're using here in Final Cut Pro X. But for those of you who can't find a news anchor type of opening, this is where you can find one that is similar that you can use on Final Cut Pro X in the generators section. So here's what it looks like. I've just basically changed the text for you so you can see that it says Pew News Effect. But oh no, we're not done yet. As you've noticed in the Pew News opening sequence, he does have various YouTuber pictures scrolling across the screen. We're going to do something similar right now. I'm going to take a clip of myself. I'm going to drag it into where our news sequence begins, and I'm going to change the opacity and keyframe the transformation, which is the movement of this clip. Well, first I'm going to make it a lot smaller, as you can see. I'm going to make it a lot smaller so you can see exactly what I'm going on about. You know, he has who is it? He has Logan Paul and he has Casey Neistat scrolling across the effect. We're going to do something similar here, just taking the opacity down so it's slightly see-through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what I ended up with. Hopefully I've shown you some of the basics of how to create Pew News right there. You've been watching Anthony Allen Edits on YouTube. I'm about to show you how my Pew News opener turned out. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's have a look. Once again guys, thank you for watching my video. This has been another video editing help video for you guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, it very much helps me to continue doing what I'm doing here on YouTube. I've got more bargains coming your way and more editing techniques to teach you. So hit that subscribe button and see you soon on the next video.